Well, the Xfinity Series race just got done, and without any further ado, congratulations to the number 2 car of Austin Dillon getting it done at Bristol. Pretty great race. I I was expecting a good one, and I definitely got what I expected. It was a great race overall, and if this is what we're expected tomorrow night for Sprint Cup, I am all for it. I absolutely love it. The bottom groove has definitely been it's definitely been working and helping with the racing just in general. Eric Jones and Kyle Larson were battling out in the beginning. Eric Jones was leading laps, so was Kyle Larson, even though Eric Jones was chasing Kyle Larson for most of it. As you saw, the leaders were actually lapping a lot of the cars early on. It must have been, they were almost kind of not using the bottom groove on some times, and then other times they would. But most of the time they found that the high line was still the way to go, but some people did use the bottom groove. I mean, about 100 laps in, I think 12th place must have been lapped already. I mean, they were, Kyle Larson and Eric Jones and Kyle Busch were definitely setting the pace. And the thing with Kyle Busch is he had a problem before the start of the race, so they had to switch something, and he started at the rear of the field, and he, like always in every Xfinity Series race, he was slicing and dicing through the field. He worked his way up to third, and it was really amazing to watch him do that. You did have a few wrecks early on. You had Regan Smith in the 88. He kind of spun a little bit. He didn't spin all the way, he saved it, but still went off the track and got a little damage. Then the next time going around, I believe Ryan Reed spun, and then Regan Smith, trying to avoid it, slid right into the side of Ryan Reed. That kind of hurt his chances of really doing anything. And as most as you saw, it was the Cup stars going up to the front again. You had Kyle Larson leading the way, as well with Eric Jones, Kyle Busch, and Keselowski. And Eric Jones finally got past Larson between the middle of the race or so, and Kyle Busch was up there as well. So for about 30 laps or so, Eric Jones and Kyle Busch were about battling it out, as well as Larson was getting up there too. Unfortunately, after a caution, Eric Jones went into the pits, got his normal stuff. He stalled it, and it got him back into lower position, which he was not in lead anymore. I believe he restarted 11th or 10th, and you know what happens when you go back in the pack? A wreck. And Eric Jones just did that. I mean, I like the kid, but unfortunately he hooked his teammate Suarez, and that spun him, and then he got hit by Brennan Poole and Jeremy Clements, who actually was doing very good today, but continually fell back. So without Eric Jones up there, the next restart, I believe, was Kyle Busch and Keselowski, and Keselowski was already controlling it from when Eric Jones had the bad pit stop and went into the back of the field. So then for most of the race, most of the ending it was Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski were battling out with Larson and Ty Dillon. The top 4 or 5, they were going at it. It was an amazing race to watch at the end. Kyle Busch finally was he was using the bottom groove. He was really using it to his advantage, and it was really working for him, especially when you're slicing through those lap cars. Later on, though, I thought Kyle Busch was going to clear Keselowski, and he about did, maybe about give or so that close. And Kyle Busch went right up into Keselowski, clipped his nose, and that sent him up into the wall. And the next turn, he went straight up, and Ty Dillon just, smacked right in the back of him. And that hurt Kyle Busch winning as well. So, these wrecks just kept happening and taking out the front contenders. So then you had Keselowski, he's riding around and everything. He ran out of fuel. He went down to the pits. Unfortunately, he stopped 3 inches or 6 inches where the nose or the splitter was above the pit line marker, so he's going to have a penalty for that. And he was out of fuel, so his night just went from bad to worse in a matter of like 5 minutes. Restart though, you had Austin Dillon, Justin Allgaier, Elliott Sadler going out for the last green-white checkered supposedly. Great three-ride racing at the end, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't like him. But Austin Dillon won. He dabbed. You can have what you think of that. He didn't even dab the right way. You're supposed to be like that, and he did that. Not right. Congrats to him. All in all, if I don't like the winner, it's not that big of a deal, because the racing definitely was just It was amazing. I loved the racing, and if this again has anything to show how the Cup race is going to be tomorrow night, you're going to be blown away. I mean, absolutely great racing. I have not seen a race like that in a long time, especially at Bristol. You know, you would have people that were doing the top, but you know, people knew that they could use the bottom groove, and people like Kyle Busch, they took advantage of it. Simple as that. You know, great race overall. If you missed it, you missed a good one. So this is Kick and Tread here, bringing you the Xfinity Series review. Tomorrow night Sprint Cup race at Bristol should be a very good one, and I'll bring you the update one tomorrow night as well. Have a good night, guys. Thank you for watching.